Steve, that was certainly one of those days when we simply weren't at the races. The problem being at this end of the season, the business end of the season, we can't really afford to be not at the races. Might be okay beginning of the season or autumn or something like that, but you can't get away with performances like that, I guess.
Where do I start, Jim? Told them in there, I'll take as much flack. We prepared them, we watched them, Burgess Hill on Tuesday. Me and Barry went down to watch them, and they're very dangerous set pieces. Scored 3 goals from set pieces, the first one inside a minute. Information's obviously not being absorbed by the players. You know, they embarrass me there. You know, if I do things wrong, system, substitutes, things like that, I hold my hands up. But we try to change it by the 2 subs at half time because they weren't at the races in the first half. Any one of them players could have come off. Same old story as the last 2 games. And I told them they're in a position where they could get playoffs. Now, let's get it right. We could be lucky to get top 8, you know, because that was lacklustre. They've embarrassed me today in a big way, and they've been told, you know, there was no fight or anything. And if you can't take simple instructions on, then there's something wrong.
The first goal was particularly disappointing. We seemed to be completely static in there.
Yeah, unless we go out and actually do it, you know, they're told players to mark. They're given numbers to mark. Go and mark them. Stop him from scoring. Because when we had corners, they were stopping us from scoring. So a little bit of hunger and desire. I'm always honest on here, and that's not a team that are fighting for playoffs. If we was in a relegation fight, mate, you might as well call it off and say you're relegated already, because that was poor. You know, forget about run out of ideas. The fullback's been booked, so we don't give Nick Wheeler the ball no more. You know, we don't give Nick Wheeler the ball no more to run at him. They clear the ball, first and second half, take the wind out of it. They clear the ball, it goes miles. We clear the ball, it goes straight to their centre halves or their centre mids. You know, play with Diamond at the start, then got Nick Wheeler out left. And he got the full back. You know, Alex had a chance, should have scored. Couple of half chances, if you like, where, again, second balls, you know, turn their back on it. I don't want people like that at the club no more. And if I could change a lot of players now, I would do. But it's not feasible. You know, there's a lot of lack of fight out there, and I can't stomach that. I really can't.
The number 5 for them, Sonko, I mean, a very, very experienced player. We didn't really seem to deal with him at all, did we?
No, powerful in the air, you know, but get the other side of him, like Andre did a couple of times, and we was in, but we didn't do it enough. They've got to think for themselves out on the pitch, you know. It can't always come from me and Barry. Give them the foundations, go and play, but you've got to make your own mind up on the ball. You know, if you see Andre tearing strips off the 4, which he did twice, we try and play it into feet. You know, we don't overhit it for people to get in and use their pace. It's not they're not told. Definitely they're told to do it. They come alive when they got their 3rd goal and started playing football, the LA stuff, which is great, but they've done a job on us. They're coming out backyard, turning us over comfortably without really us putting up a fight.
Well, they never looked in serious trouble, did they?
Of course they didn't, because we didn't want to put them in any serious danger. We didn't want to go up against them. You know, we didn't want to compete with them. Happened twice the last 2 games at home. Home and at Staines. And we turned it around in the second half, but they couldn't turn that around because they was up someone a lot physical, and they didn't want to have a fight. And you've got to fight before you can play, and that's what hurts me. Hurts me a lot. So from us being in a good position, now you're looking and thinking. I personally, I've got a lot of thinking about myself. Am I doing things right? Am I up to the task? Forget I've just signed a new deal. Am I up to the task? Because we've gone on a bad run now of, I think it's 5 games, lost 3, drawn 2.
February, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Our last league win.
Yeah, but after a great run of 13 with 1 defeat, you know, we're nowhere near it. Absolutely nowhere near it. Probably bottom of the form guide, and you're in 5th spot at this part of the season. So I'm going to be looking at myself and wondering where we go from here in terms of what more can I do, because it's a good old saying, you know, if people aren't taking on information and don't want to take on information, then they're obviously just doing their own thing. So you're not going to get the best out of them, and I can't change them, not at the moment. There's a week to go, and it's so difficult to try and change 3 or 4 people that I'd love to do. I'm not using the injuries as an excuse, because they're quality players out there, or they're quality players, but probably I can have 4 of them, and I told them I'd back them all day long. 4 of them today would go to war with you, the others threw the towel in. And it's one of those, I've got to have a long hard look at myself first and foremost, and that's something I will do. Whether them players do that as well is a different matter.
I mean, we had one reserve youth player in today, didn't we? The rest were what you call first team squad players, weren't
Yeah, of course. And Liam done well. You know, he's up against some 2 good experienced players. And he coped well. Again, he's going to make mistakes, but so do the experienced players out there. You know, and what I can't have is me and Barry travelling all the way down to Burgess Hill from home on a Tuesday night to watch a game, identify threats, and we don't take it on board. You know, but what can I do? I can't physically go out and mark them myself. Barry can't. You know, you're expecting them to do a job for you, and I asked them, because the club have done a lot for these players this season, a lot that's gone behind the scenes that people don't know, and they need to stand up and offer a bit back to the football club. You know, because I'm not going to go down the route of we're just having players here for a jolly up. And I haven't said that this season. Over the last 3 weeks, it's come in. Now, players want to play at a high level. Are they good enough? Time will tell. Players probably think maybe they're better than what they are. But that's in all clubs, not just us, all clubs. And that's why you don't get no consistency.
Trying to be optimistic, it's difficult, I know. Amazingly, I think we are still fit. I think. Haven't checked all the results. Can we still make the playoffs?
We've got 5 games. Teams can catch us, I suppose. There'll be a few twists and turns, maybe, but
it's probably not
on that, Jim.
It's probably not in our control anymore. In a sense,
you be honest with me now. On that, do you think we're good enough to make the playoffs?
Not unless there's a big change in the way we play.
That's why I said I've got to have a look at myself to see if there's anything else I can do. The players have to have a look at themselves, and then we'll take it next week and see what happens. But on that showing, absolutely no chance of making the playoffs, and rightly so as well, because there was nothing there. You know, we try and tell them that they've got an opportunity. You know, an opportunity to stay 5th, even if you finish 5th. You're in the playoffs. You've got a chance. Yes, everyone would love to be at home, but on that show, mate, no.
Can I just ask about Johnny Henley? Will he be with us to the end of the season? Or?
Yeah, well, providing Hemel don't get an injury to their keeper, they said we can renew his loan. So I'm going to be speaking to Dean Brennan tomorrow. Okay. You know, I thought he's made 2 great saves again today. But it's one of those. It's raw at the minute, and I'm hurting because they've embarrassed me today. You know, that's a group that I put together, a group that I thought would be good enough to compete every week, and it's not good enough. And like I said to him Tuesday, we're back on the training ground Tuesday, and it's a matter of forget the football, the nice touchy stuff, because we ain't good at that. We've got to get back to the hard work. We've got to go back to closing people down. I think they've forgotten how to do that. You know, and yes, we've had loads of games, so we haven't had much training sessions, but they've got to get back to the hard work of basically knuckling down and putting teams under pressure. Yeah, making teams make mistakes, because we've lost that art at the minute, and that's what we've been very good at for the last year and a half. It's only the last 5 games that we've stepped off it. Now, whether people are thinking about their holidays, whether people are thinking about what they're doing next year, whether people are worried because I haven't spoke to them about next year, that all comes into it. That's what I said before, and I will say again that I've got to look at myself and think where we go from here.
Okay, well, have 2 good training sessions, and we'll all meet up again at Hendon on the 3G.
Yep, cheers, Jim.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, mate.